Good morning, welcome to Viking Preparedness. I am Pastor Joe Fox. In this video, I want to talk about how preparedness is a biblical concept, and it is so important that I may end up putting this also up on YouTube because people need to hear it. There are misinformed people out there, but y'all get to see it first. First, before we get started, let's cue the intro and look at spring starting to come to the Ozarks. All right, caught up, my Band-Aid's caught, there we go. There are many people out there who are under the mistaken belief that somehow being a prepper or taking steps to be prepared is a denial of faith and trust in God. And to be a prepper is to demonstrate a great lack of faith. That is false. Kenyan coffee, I can't remember the exact title of it, from Kevin's Coffee Roasters in Vernon, Connecticut. Thank you, Kevin. I actually shared some of your coffee with the Millennial Man and the Neo Hermitess. If they like it, I reckon they'll mention it in the video too. What am I going to do with my coffee cup? Don't tip over, that would be a sin. Speaking of sin, all right, let's get to it. People out there think that, yeah, you are demonstrating a great lack of faith if you are into preparedness. And nothing could be further from the truth. Preparedness is a biblical concept. And let me just give you some specific examples from the Bible that show about preparedness. And I guess, preparedness is not just stocking up on Mountain House foods and a robust first aid kit and guns and ammo. Preparedness is being able to take care of yourself. And the ultimate extension of preparedness is homesteading, right? And so first and foremost, God's people, the Israelites, were and are an agricultural people who depend on Him for the crops to grow and those types of things. But, they've got to get out there and get after it and develop a sustainable type of life. Adam was created to till the soil, right? Or to tend the garden. And then after the fall, he had to till the soil. But still, it was agriculture, right? Proverbs 6, picking up around verse 6, says, "Go to the ant, thou sluggard, consider her ways and be wise." And then it goes on to explain how this ant that you are supposed to go to, consider her ways and therefore also be wise. This ant works hard all summer long, putting up the garden and the crops and those kinds of things so that in the winter, the ant is taken care of. Preparing today for a future, Working hard today so that you have something to eat later. Putting it away, storing it away while you can. And then it says, a little sleep, a little slumber. Basically, this is what happens to people who don't get out of bed in the morning, don't work, don't prepare, don't put food up now for a time of famine that is coming, and they get in trouble. That's basically it. Proverbs 6. Consider the story of Joseph. You know how his brothers sold him into slavery into Egypt, and then he works his way up. And so he's basically the G4. He's in charge of all of Pharaoh's logistics and food and stuff like that. He interprets Pharaoh's dream, and he rightfully says, hey, your dream means this, Pharaoh, that we have this many years of good times, fat times, and then we have this many years of famine. And so you've got to get ready now for the famine then. And so what does Joseph do? Joseph stores up lots and lots and lots of wheat in all the granaries of Pharaoh. He's putting away buckets of wheat by the connex full. And then when the famine comes, people sell everything they have to include themselves for a loaf of bread, right? For some wheat. And so what's the principle there? Store up in the fat times so that you're ready for the lean times that are coming. Noah. Consider Noah and the ark. Who built the ark? Noah built the ark. If God wanted to save Noah, his wife, his sons, and their wives, he could have said, Noah, check it out, man. There's this big flood coming. I'm going to send a big log down. I want you to climb on. A bunch of critters are going to climb on it with you. He could have done that. Or he could have said, Noah, I need you to move to this one mountaintop. The rest of the world is going to be flooded, but you're going to live. He could have done that. But no, Noah had to build the ark. It's time for you to start building an ark. Most people didn't heed the advice, right? Most people perished in the flood. It's going to happen again. What other examples can we use? I sign all my books. Here comes a shameless plug. Survivalist Family, Prepared Americans for a Strong America. Available at fine bookstores everywhere, particularly Amazon and Barnes & Noble. But I sign all my books that actually when I go to book signings or go to conventions or something. 1 Tim 5:8, 1 Timothy 5:8. And basically it says, hey, anybody who doesn't provide for his own, especially those of his own household, is worse than an infidel, has denied the faith. Denied the faith if you don't provide for your own, especially for your own house. You got to provide, man. What about the story of the 10 virgins, 5 wise and 5 foolish? And so these virgins are waiting on the bridegroom to come. They're anticipating his arrival, and all of a sudden the 5 foolish bridesmaids turn to the 5 wise and they say, hey, we don't have enough oil for our lamps. Give us some oil from your lamps so that we all have oil. Why don't you share your prepper supplies? You were wise enough to store oil. Why don't you share it with us? And then the interesting thing is, these are all bridesmaids. They are all waiting on the groom. Can you take that story in your biblical mindset and move that forward? Who's waiting on the groom? All 10 of these are. And so if you would ask a modern Christian today, so what do you think the 5 wise should do? Oh, they should share their oil with the less fortunate. But in fact, that's not what happens. When we read in the Word, the 5 foolish go, we're not giving you any of our oil. If we did, we wouldn't have any. Instead, why don't you all go out there to those who buy and sell and get some of your own oil? And so they take off to go get some oil. It's too late. They don't get back in time. The doors are shut, and they are not admitted to the wedding feast because they didn't prepare. What, they had faith that the groom was going to come and that others would share with them. Yeah, look what that kind of faith got them. You see, faith without works is dead. If you don't take steps to show your faith, you don't have faith. You're faking. You're lying to yourself. You're certainly lying to other people. And so, yeah, preparedness is a biblical concept. It's all through the Bible. You have to take care now. You have to take steps now while you can to prepare for yourself, and I submit for others in the times that are coming. It doesn't take any kind of rocket scientist to read the tea leaves and see what's coming down the pike. If you're not ready, you're in trouble. And I question your faith if you're not preparing, because then that means you're not reading things like Mark 13, Matthew 24, the whole entire book of Revelation, Daniel, Isaiah, Ezekiel. It's coming, and you better get ready for it. Yes, you have to get ready spiritually. You got to get right with the Father. But check it out, you have to get ready physically, because again, faith without works is dead. You got work to do. Get out there, start prepping. It's a biblical concept. All right, I'll see you out there.